For those of you who don't have Office 365, I highly recommend LibreOffice. It's free, and what's really nice about it is that in many ways it hasn't changed a lot in 15 years. One of the problems with Office is that to make it look new and exciting, every few years they keep messing around and moving everything around and making it painful for those who are casual users to find anything. But let's look at LibreOffice. What I'm going to use is Calc, so I'll just type Calc down here, and there it is, LibreOffice Calc. You see this machine also has OpenOffice Calc on it. I recommend LibreOffice Calc now. OpenOffice hasn't really changed in several years. The people have gone over to LibreOffice for the most part that were working on it before. Anyway, here we are, and this is a medium resolution screen, and you see the toolbar here has room for lots of icons and room for a little bit more. On my normal high-res screen there's a lot more room out here. Anyway, now by default LibreOffice has the ones I like here: insert rows, columns, delete rows and columns. What's missing is fill right and fill down. I really like both of those, so we're going to have a little bit of room on both of these lines. Let's put one on each one so that we don't run out of space. So I'm going to right click somewhere. Let's try right clicking here, visible buttons, Customize Toolbars. So you see that I right click right here, and then I said Customize Toolbar, and I'm going to go down here, and right after delete columns I'm going to add fill right or fill down or whatever. Anyway, here it is. I think it's going to be under edit is the category, and we have to find it here. Here it is, fill down. So I'm going to pick fill down. I'm going to say add, and then I'm going to close this, and it put it a little bit lower than I wanted, so I'm going to use this arrow to move it up so it comes right after delete columns, and I'm going to say OK, and now you see fill down is here. So under it I'm going to put fill right. So I'm going to right click here, right click here. I guess I had to not, if I was out here on the toolbar it didn't work, but if I right clicked on one of these icons then I could scroll down and find Customize Toolbar. I'm going to put it before the percent sign after currency. So I'm going to say add, and it was in edit. I'll scroll down, and I want fill right. I'll say add, I'll say close, and it put it before the percent after currency, which I think is where I want it. So I'm going to say OK, and I just put it there not because it made sense on this toolbar, but because it's right under fill down. Anyway, that's one customization I really like here. The other one I recommend is that you go to Tools, Options, and under Load Save, General, see I'm over here on the General tab of Load Save, and this is the default document type it's going to create for various types of documents. So if you're creating a text document, by default LibreOffice creates a open document format document, which is not a bad choice, but some people think they can't read them. They think it's weird. Uh, it turns out that Excel for some time has been able to read them. A few years ago it couldn't. But if I change this, I can choose things like the Microsoft Word format, the newest one. I can also pick a doc format. This is Word 97 2000 XP, so on. So that's the doc format, the old one that's been around for 20 years. But my recommendation now is to use this new XML format. It gives you more flexibility. I would pick that as a default for text documents. I think that most people can read them. And I'm going to also change the kind of document I create if I create a spreadsheet. And once again, I want to create not a template, but I want to create a Excel XML document. So the extension will end up being XLSX, and the other one will be DOCX. Anyway, so now I've changed those. Now whenever you create a spreadsheet, it will by default try to save it as an Excel document, not a open document format document. And I think that, it's more generally acceptable in that format. More people can feel they have a program that can read it. So those are the things I really like doing with Calc and LibreOffice. I like to change the toolbars in Excel. I like to change the default document formats.